We are live.
We're
Welcome.
alive. Happy New Year.
We have a new year.
It seems
I slept
we're in
through
it. We're in it.
Oh, my cushion's going for it. Welcome to the Health Unplugged show radio.
You never know. You don't know.
I always get the radio and show bit.
You do so much on
Welcome
that. You don't
to
know what you're doing.
Roger and Ollie chatting about health stuff
and stuff.
somewhere.
Health stuff. Yeah.
So what's the topic we've got to look at today?
Well, we were undecided, but and as always, it's unplugged. So we kind of hinted a little bit of the observation in that at the moment, it's not COVID.
Nope.
Although to be correct, there is COVID around, so we need to acknowledge that still. But there's a lot of people who are realizing, I think, on the benefit of having had COVID and understanding the immune systems a little more, realizing that there's also other cough, colds, flu, and virusy, chesty stuff going around.
Apparently, there was a new strain actually, and it sounded like something off Doctor Who. I can't remember what it was.
There's a 1.5 kind of. Yeah, BB something rather 1.5.
It's like they've tried to make a remake.
It's upgraded,
with bad actors,
changed.
Yeah,
but so it's just really highlighted, and I've actually had quite some good interaction with some patients because they're a little bit more aware of the immune system. They've had COVID a few more times. They're asking more questions of, well, how come I've had it a little bit more than once or twice, and how come now that I've had it, and then they realize, well, Christmas. Bit of excess in the UK, obviously coming into winter. So there's a lot more awareness of actually there's other factors involved than just exposure to a virus of why we get ill.
I think when people say, oh, I get my colds or I get my sickness this time of year, and we look into that normal side of things, and just because something is common doesn't make it normal. It's not normal for the body to get sick this time of year. But when we look at the reasons why, we can see why it happens. Like, let's just look at clocks change in October, so we have less daylight. Then we get into winter solstice, which was like the 22nd of December, shortest day of the year. Now our body needs that vitamin D. You've got your what's your vitamin D strategy this winter poster there. And so we're not going to get that sun exposure. Not just that, our immune system regulates, right, with its circadian rhythm. And so that's going to go up and down with the daylight.
And we're the only
false lights.
We're the only really species around which hasn't either ducked off to a sunny climate or is asleep. We're still trying to do the same routine, the same pressures, demands at this time of year than we are in July, August.
Exactly. And then let's look into, December, people are getting more stressed because buying presents, getting prepared for Christmas, but not just that. There's more alcohol because there's Christmas get-togethers. I mean, I can't really have a Christmas party with like a party. Well, actually, I've got virtual staff, so like there, but I can't really go and fly over to like.
I got pictures of you sitting there by yourself, going, "How was your year running around?" I was okay, and yours thing.
Well, I've got like there's like 5 people that work for me, but they're all in different countries, so it was kind of hard to have a little Christmas get together. Have a virtual like.
We have our Christmas meal in a couple of weeks' time because. January is usually quiet and everyone's busy in December. So you're trying to get, even for us, 3, 4, 5 people together, they go, well, I can't do this and that. So there's a lot of pressure.
There's pressure.
In the lead up to Christmas or work-wise, a lot of people can I have this done before Christmas? And it's like, do you need it done before Christmas?
We look at that as in, yes, the schedule is different and there's potentially more alcohol. Some people will then just have screw it. I can't do it because I'm going out for this like Christmas party, that Christmas party, that Christmas party. Even though if you look at all the times over December, it might be like 4 days where they're actually out completely. You can't be on any schedule. They have I'm not going to do anything for this month, potentially. And so then we get more toxins. And then there's more stress load on our liver, on our kidneys, on our immune system to clear these toxins out when it comes to alcohol, more and phosphorus as well. Like, so there's going to be more like potential acid side of things, the acidosis going on with more processed food.
Hugely acidic food and that. And also, so it's no surprise you get to kind of that lull time between Christmas and New Year, or even after the New Year, where it's like, I just want some basic food. It's only the soups or the...
that happened to me after Boxing Day.
Or the vegetables seem just a little bit more, I just want some plain food because we've had the rich food and all sorts. So when people understand that the balance of how the immune system is affected by our stress levels, by our diet, by our sleep patterns over that, and then also big things like vitamin D.
Less
It's almost
exercise.
like it's no wonder why this time of year is the most harshest and hardest on the bodies and the immune system. And then you get exposed to a virus, and the body says, my defenses are low. So I have to go through a response to regain the upper hand. Because
Yep.
there's very good reason why you'll traditionally, I know more people are work from home now, but or actually more people have come back into the office because of painful heat. You know that? The
Yeah,
heating and that.
yeah, more
So
people are coming
people are
back
going,
in.
you've got an office of say 20 people, and someone says, oh, I caught the cold from so and so. And it's like, well, did everyone in the office go down? No, maybe 5 out of 20 or 10 out of 20. So why didn't the others go down? So there's exposure, but usually it's the state of the immune system. So
Because I used to find when
there's
I
a
was a
lot which we can
manager,
do.
like when I was a manager at a large insurance company that everyone would know in Norwich, um, I would get frustrated when someone came in and didn't call in sick when they had a cold, because you've got a team of 12 people and you know that not everyone's on top of their health, that their immune system can't handle it.
Yeah.
And we're getting this recycled air from air conditioning, and then suddenly they're around this desk in a call center, and then 3 or 4 people have got it, and then you try to listen to calls, and then you're having to sit in and like desk sharing and everything. But yeah, we're exposed to these people more, so you have to have a super strong immune system. Like, say my wife gets sick or your wife gets sick, our immune system has to be strong for us not to get,
Yeah.
because you're spending time with them at the dinner table together, sharing beds together, like sofas, whatever it is, that same air, hours and hours upon end. And the same with family get-togethers. Like, we don't want to miss these Christmas times, so it might be a time where actually I have got a little bit of a sniffle, but I don't want to miss Christmas, so I'm still going to go round.
Yeah. But see the actual thing. So from some of the vitalistic chiropractic philosophy side of things, we'll look at that and say the weakness is not the person who's got the cold, it's how well your immune system can cope with exposure to that. So again, the key is to try and booster and support yourself physically, emotionally and nutritionally to be as robust as possible. Because there's very good reason why some people don't get
Yeah.
sick that very often, and some people who do get sick more often. Now there can be medical reasons as well. We've got to acknowledge that, but a lot of it is lifestyle, and lifestyle is not necessarily meaning that you never have a takeaway or can't do this, but it's a lot of the times we find that it's those people who do get exposed to lots of different people regularly. Their immune system's usually stronger, and also then of all those other factors, like how many people do have a strategy of vitamin D going into the winter, because that's a no-brainer. We just know that we're not going to produce vitamin D. Or during the summer, are we fearful of the sun?
So much sun
We get
cream on and everything.
deficiency,
Yeah.
but because of sun fear rather than actually getting some exposure. So there's a lot of factors, and so it's no surprise that we see that. But what has been interesting, I found, is a lot of people actually have been thinking more along those lines because of COVID, because they've realized actually my vitamin, my robustness is a factor. Yes, there may be, we can go on and off around the what we know now about the benefit of the vaccine and how much the vaccines do impart immunity or not, and the benefits of that. But I think more and more people are then suddenly realizing, actually, I've been vaccinated or I haven't been vaccinated. I've had COVID 2 or 3 times. What can other things can actually do for myself? So there is a bit of a change in a mindset.
I'd
Not
like to think
everyone,
so.
but I've certainly seen more people, or more people have just at least asked questions. Why is that? How come that? Or I've got a cough, cold, or so, but I've tested. I haven't got COVID. So you still say the same question. That's interesting. Why do you think you then had a cough, cold, or did everyone in the household do it? Oh no, it's just me and someone else. So it's like we always come from an idea of trying to spin it back to patients, of asking the question, isn't that interesting? Why didn't everyone get ill?
Yeah.
And someone said, oh, well, I've had a couple of that. And most times, a lot of people actually will open and say, going, oh, I know I've just had a rubbish diet coming up to Christmas. I've had late nights, or I had a lot of stress, or this has been going on, so I know I've been run down. So it usually is
Just the
very often we
mindset behind it
open the
as well.
door.
Like I've been looking into a lot of like one of the three questions on my questionnaire and intake form. We talk about like hitting life's purpose, feeling happy, feeling like people understand me. Like, do you feel lonely and stuff like that? And we have to look at like the eudaimoc side of things or hedonic, whether we feel good in our mind, in our mindset as well. And some people just believe they're going to get sick. You
Yeah.
believe you're going to get sick. I'm really like, whether you believe in law of attraction or not, like I love manifesting stuff. Like it's just things have happened too much for me to be like, wow, like that don't work. No, it does work.
I
And like if you believe something's going to happen,
Yeah.
it can happen.
So I've been kind of over Christmas and then coming now out of it. I've been had some more time, so I started just looking at a little bit of things like through Paul McKenna,
Mm-hmm.
some of his mindfulness and meditation side of things. And one of the easiest ways to illustrate, so a lot of people are like, yeah, mindset doesn't make that much of a difference, is to just look at you can do it yourself with even with an oximeter, but usually with blood pressure monitor of just your breathing, slowing down your heart rate, looking at breathing, looking at visualizing your most happiest space, whether that's been in the beach or a lovely scenery or a gathering where you felt the happiest, the most calm. So just in your mindset of how your mind forms a picture, but your brain and your nervous system doesn't differentiate between it. Or picture really where you've been highly stressed and take yourself into that moment. Your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate goes up. So when people kind of go, yeah, does mindfulness and does your headspace or your thought process make that big difference? It's huge. It's probably even more than that person then saying, right, another lap around the athletics track, or another bout of some vegetables at dinner or something. The mindset in that is huge. And
Yeah,
then going through also with one of the things. So this is through Mind Value. Then is also with breath work and the power of breathing properly and you doing breathing exercise, of how it changes physiology, and that is it's amazing. So there's a huge amount of tools that people can tap into, which makes you realize of just subtle things, how big they can be. it's
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 powerful when
it's
we look
not
at
it's
like the
not all
actual.
about just the latest
It's
diet
not just,
trend.
and this is where we look at health. So many people have this health kick. The gyms are really busy.
Yeah, yeah.
The health is going to the gym. Like no, like there's more to health than just working out. But I've had multiple clients that have come to me over the last few months, and we're a couple of months in before we've started doing the workouts. It's about movement. It's about getting the amount of people not having enough veggies, about not having or having too much caffeine and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's that foundation, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's that
we want to walk. We
some of
want to get
those
movement
really
in.
strong basic things of just like sleep pattern, those basic things, water. Those a lot of people kind of overskip them because there's that
It's not
something.
sexy to talk about that stuff.
No, and also it's hard. They're not products that you can sell. You can sell a bottle of water, but it's not, as you say, it's not sexy to kind of like, are you drinking enough water during the day?
Hmm.
But I don't know if there was something along that I missed something that one of the supermarkets has that there's a certain energy drink or something which is
Yeah, this.
caused. I'm not gonna give it its publicity, but people
I
fighting
don't think you
over
need it. It's like
people
a couple of
fighting over
YouTubers,
it.
I believe, have done it. It's a prime energy drink. Grown adults fighting over it. Like,
How do you think?
come on! Like, welcome to 2023.
Yeah, that's the new year. This is a rock bottom price,
But
so we
it's
got to
like it's
fight
going
over it.
really expensive on eBay. Empty bottles.
Yeah,
I it's marketing. It's amazing marketing.
yeah.
But
And that's the thing is with health can be marketed in a product, in a bottle, or in a certain diet, and then you see that and can be marketed it and follow a certain celebrities dance program or do
yeah,
this and that. But those fundamentals, if most people just spent the time to go, okay, or just said, who can I turn to, and just have that basic discussion.
I think a lot of
What are
people have
some
to
of the
look at it.
basics that are of health? Not saying I want to drop, 4 stone or I want to do this, but what are some of the basic fundamentals to just be healthier and more robust, so that my immune system is more robust, that I do have a little bit more energy, that I do have a little bit more flexibility in my joints. it's those foundations which are so important. But they
We
people.
have these strategies like we're going to do veganuary or we're going to do dry January. It's all about this short-term thing, and then we're going to go back to our same habits. And people look into dieting. Are we going to go plant-based? Are we going to go keto? What are the benefits of that? Or, well, if you like steak, then don't go plant-based. If you like carbohydrates, don't go keto. And also, like, how is your body actually functioning? If you change your diet, does that impact your sleep? And I find a lot of times ketogenic dieting and things, it can be great for the brain, but then they strip the body of things like glutamine and glutathione to a degree, potentially, and like over the course of a period of time, which is then going to impact like the body in other ways and cellular health. And then the same with plant-based. Are we then going to get good quality levels of protein consistently? Are we going to get dopamine precursors? And like, there's all this. There's a lot of pressure for people to, when we look to improve health, start a diet,
Yeah,
a named diet,
yeah,
rather than what works for you.
and do you think there's also a thought process out there? Or sometimes think that there must be a diet, the perfect diet. There must be the answer. And we're all different. We all have different needs. We all have different physiology. We all, have different, either, as you say, like vegetarian or veganism. You've also got a different ethics and different culture.
Yeah.
So there isn't a one fit all, but we're driven by this works with the least amount of effort, and all you need to do is this, and he's very often selling
It's that easy
a
thing,
product.
right?
I want the
People
best
want the
results
easy
for the
thing.
least amount of it and the quickest
Yeah.
time possible.
And I get that. There was a quote where if you do the easy things, you have a hard life. You do the hard things, you have an easy life. And I truly believe that if I manage to push myself out of my comfort zone every day. Now, is that going to try something different in the gym? Is it going to like make sure that I don't have caffeine first thing? Is it making sure I get out first thing, or
Yeah.
whatever it is, or trying something new with public speaking or something? Like, public speaking is easy for me to do now because I started doing it.
Yeah.
The hard thing.
But those are like the added nuggets. That's like the 80-20 rule. It's those 20% things. If you do them right, you're going to get 80% of your success, and then you can really fine tune certain things. But you've got to have a certain level of baseline foundation to then be confident to push that little level.
I think about starting my health journey. That was a New Year kick, but I remember going to like Tesco's and getting healthy living meals or stuff like that. And I think I had like Maxi Muscle supplements and like a protein shake from there. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just moving, going to the gym like 3 times, and that just continued. Like, one of the things that does frustrate me about New Year is a lot of the people that are in the gyms already, and they say, "Oh, we've got all these New Year people." Like, good for people going there and trying.
Yeah.
A lot of people will fail. There's a high failure rate, but some people will succeed. I started that as a New Year resolutioner back in however many years ago. It's my career. I'm a functional medicine doctor now. Like, that's kind of crazy to think that came from a New Year's resolution. And so some people are going to be successful with it. So support these people, build it up. If the gym's busy, then like, don't get frustrated with people not doing good form. It may not be your place to advise form wise, but
maybe if the gym stays busy, then the fees don't go up down the line. So there's pros and cons to it all there.
Exactly. So it'd be interesting to know what people's, I don't want to say New Year's resolution, New Year, New Me, or anything like that. Just what trends are you finding? What's the focus?
Is there a strategy? Be interesting to know that. The other thing also, to leading on to that, and I'm speaking for Ollie, but I know we're on the same wavelength, is we're certainly open to engage into that conversation, because I think also what for some people is very overwhelming, in that there is that motivation, there is the desire, but as I said, there's a lot of misinformation, and there's a lot of gadgetry and quick fixes and marketing strategies tapping into that. And so when there's a difference between losing weight quickly in a short space of time and being healthy.
It's the difference between fitness and healthy as well.
Exactly. And there's a lot of people who are trying to outrun poor lifestyles. So they're pounding their body. they're creating more inflammation, they're putting more stress in the body. Yes, they do eventually run quicker and they feel stronger, but then they crash and burn. The arthritis comes up, they get in reflux and that, they get in, their sleep habits are changing, hormonal levels are changing. So there's a lot where then they are powering, they're getting a short-term boost, but they're powering themselves with cortisol,
I
adrenaline.
look at like,
So I speak for Ollie.
yeah,
You know, if you want to engage and ask questions or things, we're open. That's what we. This is part of why we do the podcast, is to encourage engagement and people to explore and ask questions.
yeah, and New Year as well. You've got your friends and family offer going
Yeah,
on. I've got a group program which is starting the revitalization blueprint. It's revitalization with a Z. So if you want more information on that, you can message us. If you're a follower of me and you want Roger's details here in Norwich for chiro adjustments, then let me know. We'll be tagged in the video. If you want information on the revitalization blueprint, just go to revitalizationblueprint.com. Revitalization with a Z. Don't hate me, Brits.
yeah.
Is it Z in South Africa? No, it's S.
Yes.
So you spell English,
English
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
They took the language. And anyway, on that note,
Happy New Year.
Happy
We
New
wish
Year.
you all the best. And as always, we're here to serve.
Take care.
Take care. See you then.